Hello everyone, it's Red Gadget here and welcome to another video. So today I got something new for you. I got a new gadget deck that I want to show you, and it's called KFC Gadgets. And when I say KFC, you might think of, okay, the food chain, the fast food chicken chain. But also there was a deck called a Kuraz Field Control or something like that, where you use Kuraz and then you pop your field spells, like Year Town for example, where you then draw a card, then you get the big dragon from your deck, things like that. And also, coincidentally, I actually won 3 of these playing my Gadget KFC deck at the locals literally yesterday. So we had the locals where I went 5-0. I won the locals with this deck, and I won a playset of these Kurazes. I have them here in my hand as well. And they're like these duelist league or whatever. One is green, red, and I think blue or purple. And apparently, I was told they're kind of expensive, but also I was hoping I would get like a box, like a booster box, and I was playing for a booster box, and then they said, okay, actually booster box is for like randomly, like they selected a winner randomly from all the participants. It was like 20 people, and first place got these. But I'm not super happy about these, but also I think it's very cool that there was a coincidence that like I got the Kuraz, which was the main part of the KFC deck, and I played the new KFC deck. So to get into the deck, I just want to show you what the main idea is and why I made it. So it's a gadget deck that I have here. It's the exact list that I played. I maybe should just show you in this format. So I have tested a lot with gadgets, and the main problem is that Solidarity is too restrictive. And you cannot play with Solidarity. You cannot play things like, for example, Fossil Dyna. You cannot play things like Kaiku. You cannot play things like Didi Crow. You cannot play things like Kaius, for example, right? So I was thinking, how do we actually get rid of that? And the best way is just to kind of yeet away the Solidarity. Say, okay, gadgets will stay small, but we will use them to other like advantages, right? So for example, what we can also do with this deck is actually access the extra deck. So we needed a good tuner. And the best tuner that we have, for example, for this particular use case is the Krebons itself with the E-Tally. So imagine this. You just normal summon Krebons pass. They try to attack you, just take 800. Next turn, you can normal summon a gadget, search another gadget. Already there on field, you have a Synchro 6. Plus, you have a card in hand that you searched, basically, which then you can pitch, for example, for Brownak, like meaning the other gadget. And in that sense, it is literally a 2-turn synchro with the discard, similar to what you would do with like a Blizzard, for example, right? Where you would search, for example, a value, and then you would pitch the value for Blizzard, so for a Brownak. So I think it's a very strong play, and often when you yesterday was in particularly interesting because I just summoned the Krebons, and people freeze because Krebons two back rows. Should you attack? Should you not? Right? Should you take a deep prison just for the payoff of maybe giving like your opponent 800 damage? It's really a nice staller, and it really helps going second because when the opponent has, like for example, 1 or 2 monsters, they went first. Summoning a gadget into that feels horrible, but summoning a Krebons into that, making them basically like blocking them for a turn, then summoning a gear frame, searching for example a fortress, sinking that off for a Goyo trying to beat over, then dropping maybe a fortress after that in main 2, right? Then you're starting to play. But just before with Solidarity, even when the gadget is on field, you still don't have one engrave turn 2. So it gets pretty tricky, and I think gadgets didn't really have results because Solidarity is simply too restrictive. 800 attack is cool, but you don't have access to the extra deck, you don't have access to the other cards, like basically the other monsters that you can play. And the way I see them, they're just body spamming kind of engine. So I think offering in this list is particularly strong, and oppression as well. You can play oppression main deck. I've discussed this with some friends, but yeah. So let's maybe go to the monsters. We got 8 gadgets. I think in such a list where you play more monsters, you can get away with like 8, but I really am usually a fan of 9. But yeah, 8 is fine. Usually you just cut the yellow one because he's just the smallest. And then you got this package here, E-Telly and Krebons. I tested it with 3 Krebons and 2 Kaius. But I realized that Kaius is just way too strong, and Krebons sometimes can break if you have 2, for example, and you already, like, should you go for your Gadget Train, should you go for like the few Krebons. So 2 with 1 E-Tele is perfect, because if you draw 1, you still have 1 in deck for the E-Tele and such. And it's a really good ratio, for example, like these 5 payoff cards, right? That you kind of use your gadgets with and don't go minus. And then you got the regular Machina package. This is not negotiable. 3 Gear Frame, 3 Fortress, and 1 Force. And we got 3 Caius. Caius is extremely strong for multiple reasons. So first of all, you always have a body on board. If you go first, for example, you're almost always guaranteed to have a body on board because gadgets just spam so hard. You got extra specials in the deck. For example, E-Tele. You got this that stalls a turn. We're playing Cyber Dragon's main. I've actually played them in my gadgets lists oftentimes. 1 or 2. Sometimes 0, but usually 1 and sometimes even 2. And yeah, you can go Sidra, Caius. But you will see, I will show you some replays after where we just like sit on a gadget, tribute the gadget for Caius. And with Ultimate Offering, you can like really make plays where you go like, okay, Offering, well, actually just normal the gadget for your regular normal. Then you go like Offering, tribute the Caius, target the back row. They chain the back row or not. Then you go like Offering, summon multiple gadgets, and then you OTK. So Caius can be a spot removal in terms of monsters, for example. It can also be like a MST. It can also be a battle trap, where, because if you know Ultimate Offering, you can activate it during your main phase and your opponent's battle phase. So if they try to attack into your gadget, you just flip Offering, tribute the gadget for Caius, banish their monster, and it's basically effectively a deep prison. And it plays around back rows because they still haven't like set the back row, right? People usually set the back row main 2, but in any case, you cannot activate it that turn, right? Even if it was in main 1. So Caius usually just lands there, turn skips them, banishes their monster. You can attack next turn. You can then proceed with the rest of the gadgets with Offering. It's super explosive deck. I think the ceiling on this deck is so much higher than regular gadgets. And everyone just says, oh yeah, gadgets, Solidarity gadgets strong, but it lacks ceiling. This deck, I've had hands where like I OTK'd people like turn 2. In fact, I think last round of the tournament, because in this deck, for example, you play Brain, right? So Brain Caius is crazy, but in regular gadgets, you don't play Brain because you just don't have the conversions. Here you have Brain Krebons, Brain E-Tele, Brain Caius, Brain Cyber Dragon, right? In the worst case. Like, all of these are super strong. And, like, I had the hand where, like, I had Heavy Brain, which is, like, a regular, right, Edison hand. I had, like, Heavy Brain, for example, like, Gear Frame, Fortress, like, some Caius something. And, like, turn 2, I just went, like, Heavy Brain, Caius, dropped the Fortress. I don't remember. Like, I had the Limiter as well, right? So then I attack, I drop Limiter. It was crazy. And the ceiling on this deck is very high, but also the floor is, like, super nice because you can just always play with gadgets. I mean, 8 gadgets, just spam, set your back rows, and you're feeling pretty good. So then, yes, rest of the monster, Cyber Dragon. Oftentimes people like are scared to play this in gadgets because they think, oh, they were gonna contact fuse me. I mean, you just need to play it smart. You just need to like drop your Cyber Dragon, summon your gadget, search the thing, and then contact fuse yourself. That's why we play 2 Chimera Techs. And you just have a 2k body. Like, okay, so you go from like 2,100 to like 2,000. Okay, it's not that bad, right? And they cannot Cyber Dragon your Chimera Tech because cannot be used as fusion material, just so you know. And then we got 2 Smashing Grounds. Regular Solidarity Gadgets, they play 3, but I had to cut it down to 2. Still very strong because, again, you still got this engine, right? 8 gadgets, 2 Solidarities, summon gadget, Solidarity, attack, playing very low to the ground, and then you just, at some point, just like OTK out of nowhere. For the regular, okay, back row hate, MST and heavy, limiter, E-Tele, brain control. You can play all of these now. Like before, you couldn't play this, you couldn't play this. Heavy Storm was debatable because of the Starlight Roads. So just in the spell count, the quality of cards have improved significantly. And then you'll notice the traps. The trap lineup is just kind of what I do, right? Like this is like looks very much close to my regular Blackwing trap lineup that I've talked about many times, right? Like 3 summon stoppers, 3 battle traps, road, judgment, dust shoot. Like this is just pretty standard. For me, this works. You know, you can do whatever you want. I've tested lists with the triple prison. Because it's super nice, because you summon gadgets set to prison, they attack you, you prison them. It's like a pseudo smashing ground. It's actually even better. But yeah, I mean, I think there's no space, and like I like the 2-2, like smashing and prison. I think the distribution of these is pretty cool. And then finally the payoff card, like this thing that gives you the ceiling. I mean, this thing was crazy all tournaments. Like okay, so basically with this deck, I played in a Patreon Battle Royale. I don't know how many players was that, but I went 5-1 and I topped. And then I decided to drop in the top cut because you're actually playing for the world's invite, and some of my friends were in the top cut and they didn't have the invite, so I dropped. I already have the world's invite, and I'm gonna play the world's next week. But the achievement for me is just to top with this deck, right? Get into the top 8. And I have managed to do that with the 5-1 score. I only lost to a Vayu Turbo player that kind of like went like full combo TK'd. I just opened a bunch of monsters and I couldn't do much. And then yes, I played locals where I went 5-0, and I played a match in War League where I won, which I'm gonna show you after this match. So getting into the side deck and the extra deck. So the extra deck is just pretty standard. It's just a bunch of basically synchros. This guy you oftentimes go into because you can like hand rip. There's a pretty cool replay. I don't think I have it here, but my opponent was waiting for his lone fire, and it was pretty obvious he had supervise in hand. So I just went for fortress into Krebons, made this guy like attacked over something, or I don't remember, and then tributed him to get his supervise out of his hand. So when he got to his lone fire or to his DDR or something, he couldn't go full combo. And then I had some other cards, of course. I wouldn't just end on like an empty board there. So that was pretty cool. 2 Chimera techs because they come up with the Cyber Dragons. Oftentimes you fuse yourself, and then since they boarded in their Cyber Dragons, you can like fuse again later in the game. Yeah, and just the regular synchros. Now here, for War League, I played this kind of side deck. So 2 Dyna, 2 Vortex. This was like the last version of the deck, right? 2 crossouts. This is what I call the terrorist side, like where you just side all these like continuous floodgates. Also, sometimes I do in regular gadgets, the full terrorist side is the with also Mask of Restrict, but here you can't because you play all of these Kaioses. So I thought, okay, maybe that's not good. So these and then 3 dusts. But then for the locals, and also I think while thinking about the deck a bit more, and also the fact I hate this card, I kind of updated it. So I used a Kaiku and Fossil Dyna there for the monsters. Then 2 Lightning Vortex stayed the same. I cut down the terrorist floodgates. Still 2 oppression. I kept 1 compulse. But then for the monarchs, I realized, okay, I need something for like the tributes, right? So okay, double pulling the rug is pretty still good, and then triple dust just for the Blackwing matchups. I mean, this deck kind of is really strong against like Blackwings and Vayu because you just ram your gadgets into Raikos or like 3 dusts and like just like you summon Krebons, what like you have main deck road. Like it gets tricky. It's definitely, I don't know if it's super strong into like for example Blackwings, but I think you can have an even matchup if you play nice, because of course they're the top decks, and this deck is definitely up there. I think it's also definitely underestimated. But yes, again with Solidarity, you cannot play these, but with Offering and with this kind of other build, you can actually do a lot of cool plays. So for example, with Offering, if they try to attack you, right, you can go like because in their battle phase you can normal summon or set, right? So opponent's battle phase, normal summon or set. So if they attack you, you can just go like, oh, I need to like defend myself. I will pay 500 to set a monster, and then they attack into it, and like you flip the Fossil Dyna, and you basically Raigeki them for like most of their board. Oftentimes, what you can do is just like they feel like they're safe, like they go open board because they're on Gores. You just go like Offering, spam gadgets, or gadgets plus monarchs or whatever. And then you go like last summon Fossil Dyna, and then like they can't drop anything. I will show in the replay. I think it has happened something similar. Same with Kaiku, right? You go like Offering, spam gadgets, then Kaiku beat over the Grepher, just attack directly for a bunch of damage. Like all of these are 1000 plus, so with 4 gadgets it's like almost 5k. Can be very much game if you got a Fortress or Kaios or something on board. So that is definitely very strong. Again, as I said, in their battle phase you can Kaios them. You also need to know the rulings. I'm not going to go into to them in this video, but you can like chain block there's a whole, if you read the ultimate offering page, you should understand, like on duelingnetwork.com. No, on edisonformat.net. Yeah, sorry. On yeah, so if you like pay 500 and then you pay again and you pay again, but then you like summon Caius at some point in that chain, they cannot bottomless basically. That's all you need to know. And yeah, so that's the deck I have now, literally in front of me here. And I played this. It was very successful, as you saw. I think, yeah, 10-1 or something was my score with the deck. And I do think the ceiling is much, much higher than regular gadgets. So, yeah, let's go into some games. So this was a War League match where sadly we don't get into the playoffs. So this week we decided to play anything, and it was a really great occasion for me to try this deck in a competitive setting, right? Something that you play with a team, and the stakes are very high. I believe I'm just gonna put this fast forward so we can watch the game. I'm actually just gonna show our hand, okay? So this is our hand, pretty strong, right? The ultimate offering is insanely strong. Here we have a swap, send Treeborn, summon the flip flop, and pass. It's very good for us because we have a gear frame and gadget. So if they bounce these to hand, that's pretty good. We also have an option to just go crazy here. We could go like Cyber Dragon, add Fortress, special attack. Like we could deal a lot of damage. But I think I just decided to play it simple and go for a gear frame because if they bounce it to our hand, well, we always want another search, maybe for force, so we can drop double for Fortress. But yeah, I don't think they will take that bait. Yeah, here we make some jokes. Okay, I was baiting him into using the effect. Because, okay, this is pretty low stakes because I don't think we make it, so I was not super serious. But yes, special Treeborn set 2. Here we set 2 back rows. And, okay, we draw a gadget. I mean, just summon the gadget, start beating down. We got the Starlight Road, so we're not afraid of Torrential or Mirror Force. So we can just start slamming. There was also a case for just discard like Fortress to summon the Fortress. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Depends if you value like the 2 gadgets or more keeping a Fortress in hand. Okay, there was some DB issues. I'm just gonna put it on fast forward. Okay, so they pitched the Fishborg Blaster to kill our Fortress. Here we attack, we pass. Okay, swap frog send. Right, we just summon the gadget, just continue. Right, so as you can see here, this is the prime gameplay that we see here. So we have 4 cards in hand. They have 4 cards in hand. Sorry, 2 on the field, and we got 5 on the field. So it's just because we generated so much advantage with the gadgets that like even if we go like Crabons to like Synchro, like 2 for 1, we're already like +4. So we're technically just making big monsters and we're plussing. We're going neg in the moment in a sense, but we are actually just plussing in general. Just because gadgets are such a advantage engine. Okay, here we just start hitting. So there's Death Frog. We attack directly. Okay. You just start hitting. We have a road offering. Okay. A lot happened here. We got road offering, judgment. We feel very safe here. We got full board. It's very hard for them to clear. They went for lightning storm. We had our own Starlight Road for that, and then they sacrificed the Treeborn for Caius to hit our Stardust. And I thought about judgmenting this, but I feel like there's literally no need because there's no way he can clear this now. He already normaled, and we can just keep the judgment for the back row or for something that they do. And here I think, because I know there's a Death Frog in hand, because they did add the Death Frog at some point. And so I was thinking, okay, what the other card could be is just some like brick, like just some other frog or whatever, right? Like they already normaled. They don't have a hero engraved. So I'm thinking, okay, I think it's a good opportunity to judgment. And of course, I get punished, but it's okay. You win some, you lose some. So again, second pot of Avarice. Shuffles 5. Draw 2, attacks over our gear frame. Set the back row pass. Okay, here, summon the gadget. Very chill. We don't want to reveal our offering yet because there's no need. We don't want to run into Mirror Force. We just play it really slow. Here, since we got two gadgets, we can then drop the Fortress. This is something you cannot do in Hamster, Raiko, Caius, Machina builds, because you really like need gear frame for force there. Here, just any two gadgets just converts into Fortress, which is extremely strong. And here we see a sacrifice for a Light and Darkness Dragon, which for this deck is really not a problem. As you'll see now, we're gonna make sure to out it pretty fine. So here I think, how am I gonna do? Ultimate Offering, the lad will negate, he will go to 2-3. Here we can then just hit whatever he summons, then we can just simply Kai's. Something we just can't do with Solidarity Gadgets. Like, imagine this situation with Solidarity Gadgets. Just, what do? Okay, you activate Solidarity, sure. Whatever, there was someone told me that, like, okay, this goes to grave. I don't know, it doesn't matter. I decided not to Caius yet because I can just wait for the next turn. And then we draw Gear Frame, which is pretty strong. So there's no need maybe to Caius now because we can just start hitting. Maybe just hitting is enough. Just looping frogs. Okay, we got double Fortress, double gadgets, adding sub. Okay, sure. Okay, and then green, and then orange. It is not game. They managed to stall out a lot, but okay. Substitute again. They will make a duplock, I believe, here. But again, we got this Caius, right? Without this Caius, we're not playing. This is how Solidarity Gadgets lose. Okay, and then we draw a second one, which is pretty nice. We just special the Gear Frame Tribute. And here, okay, I misplay. I don't know why I did this. I in my head, I was like, okay, banish the one in defense, just hit over the one in attack, and I win. And then I just did the opposite. Like, I just had a brain fart, but it's okay. I still win. But yeah, I should be more careful on what I do. But anyway, here, okay, even if you flip-flop bounce, doesn't matter. Yeah, I saw Caius and got excited. Anyway. So this is the hand going second. Very simple, right? Very just 14 summon, 14 attack, easy. Set does shoot. Okay, I'll show the hand. Yeah, here we take our Cyber Dragon. I think it's pretty clear. Okay. They got a Battle Fader in their hand, but we got the Fossil Dyna that we can play now, right? We couldn't play this with Solidarity Gadgets again. This is why I chose these replays, because they show that why the deck is better than the regular gadget builds. And I do think it's a meta contender. I really do believe. And this is just game. This is just game. I activated Offering, summoned the Fossil Dyna, it was over. So because they dust, and I know that they have nothing on the back rows, we don't even need to use any of these cards in our hand. So that was just a easy 2-0 win for War League. You can see how powerful the deck is if you draw enough power cards, which the deck is just full of power cards now because we just trim down on the fat and we put in a lot of really strong cards. And then this was, I think, last round of the tournament where I went 5-1, where I went to top 8 and then I dropped. And yeah, so I was playing against Frog, I think Hero Frogs again, or some kind of frog list. And yeah, I actually got pretty lucky here twice, I have to be honest, but yeah, we lose the dice here. And of course, this is the player that actually suggested the KFC name. So yeah, shout out to Masha. And also, there was a huge, really cool play that you'll see. I think end of game 1, where yeah, I'm excited to get there because it was actually pretty cool. I got cooked game 1, but it was a pretty cool play. So here, again, just summon gadget, keep it very simple. We open the Krebons, Starlight Road, and Bottomless. Very good hand, because as you can see, this hand, like, it doesn't seem like much, but if we set these two and then we go like normal Krebons, make whatever Goyo or something, or Brownek or whatever we want to make, pitch summon Fortress, try to attack. If we eat a Mirror Force or Torrential, we do Starlight. Like, we're already just overwhelming them with advantage. Just pushing too hard. So, set 2 pass. I'm gonna not show whole hand, yeah. Summon the Treeborn. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, substitute. Probably gonna loop. Okay, Unifrog. There's nothing we can do there. Yeah, pop the bottomless. Okay. And now we draw another power card, right? So this just wouldn't happen, right? In Solidarity Gadgets, here you would draw Solidarity, and it would literally do nothing for you. Also, regular gadgets, Solidarity Gadgets, just have a problem with the Duplock. And as you can see, these are two games where I won, and both of them are against frogs. So it just significantly improves the frog matchup as well. So here, what do? I do Branek just to bounce this. Summon our fortress, because we got the road, and the idea here was just hit a lot for a lot of damage and just finish with brain. That was my idea, because I'm thinking, okay, you know, if I play the long game here, I don't really have enough valid interactions for their plays. And I was hoping this is some kind of Mirror Force or some kind of yeah, torrential. I think that way we win. And okay, Branak comes down, 24, and we got brain control. So we're in lethal range. Okay, and now I'm thinking, cool, I'll just take this, and it's pretty chill. And then it goes, and then she goes, yeah, Miracle Fusion, special swap, set 1. And this is very simple, right? Like, if you see this play now, this is a cool play. So if you just go red gadget search, brain control. No, you first go like affect Branak, discard the gadget, bounce the back row, brain control, and we win on the spot, right? Like, very simple. Like, I don't think there's much that that she can do, because like we would brain control first. No, we would bounce the back row first. So if you want to chain Raigeki break, okay, you can pop maybe your own absolute zero or something. But yeah, then you clear the board for free, kind of. So you could, like, if it's a Mirror Force or Torrential, it cannot be activated. So I think we're a pretty good spot to make that play. But then something pretty cool happens, you'll see now. So here, I think. And we get super cooked. Yeah. So we get our brain control ripped and basically board wiped. And this is looking very bad for us. And she says she had a feeling, which is a trait of a good player, you know, like if you can read that, like that's probably a brain control for game or something, like it's definitely correct to do a water art there. So we get pretty lucky, we draw Gear Frame. We're just trying to stay in the game, you know, we got cooked so hard that we need to do something. Caius comes down, pretty strong for 2-4. Let's see what happens then. Force can drop. We can get a fortress out. That's pretty cool. We can try to out this, but 2 back rows is rough. Another fortress doesn't help us now. It's technically a brick. So we attack. Phoenix Wing. Okay, now we can drop it next turn if we don't die. Okay, we didn't die. We can then actually drop it now. Okay, we attack. Rye break for game. Okay, so we lost game 1. It's pretty close, I would say. We got cooked with the particular water art play, but I think it's very cool. And then again, you see now, like, emergency teleport plus gear frame is extremely strong. And here, for example, if we already had a fortress, we could then search force, make Brownek, pitch the fortress, special it with force, very strong. MST and road, setting these two. Let's see what happens here. Breaker, attack, pretty rough. Pop our Starlight Road. I'll just do the gadget. Add the yellow. Krebons. Yes, we're just going in. The hope here is to, like, if they have a back row, pop it with MST, and then just, like, overwhelm them with all of these monsters plus a Fossil Dyna. And they don't have a Treeborn in rotation, so Caius is maybe not a threat right now, and Fossil Dyna can maybe close this. in regular, again, Solidarity Gadgets, Fossil Dyna doesn't exist. So let's go. Okay, Prodigy is a way to go to Caius or Substitute. Now we got a problem with the Duplock again. It is definitely a problem for the deck in general, but this deck has a lot better chance of dealing with it than regular gadgets. So then she goes into the Junk Synchron, okay. Swap Frog, make Cataster, try to hit over our thing, that's pretty smart. Okay, and then here we basically rip the Vortex for game. Okay, that's just, you win some, you lose some, you know? What can I say? Yeah, and I was just saying how, like, I wasn't trying to slow roll. I just told a friend, like, I top decked the Vortex for game. It's crazy. Alright. Rhoda for Stratos, search Alias. Our hand again has two cards you wouldn't play in regular gadget deck. But this is not so bad. Double Gear Frame, Smashing. It's a pretty good hand, I think. We could go for Gadget to search, or we could just go Gear Frame, search Fortress. We could also special it. I mean, we have so many plays. We also have another Gear Frame for Force after. Just beat over there, push for damage. We got Brain, Smashing, and Dyna. We're really trying to aggro them. Usually this deck, we're just trying to basically aggro them before they can make a Duplock, because Duplock is a problem. We got Smashing Ground for 1, but yeah. Here we'd go for yellow, I think. Yes. We can wait on the Force. Yeah, here I thought she was trying to mind game. I was not sure if that was really correct, but I think I went for it anyway. We got Alias. She's on 55. One back row doesn't help. I mean, here we have, for example, game, right? I think that's somewhat game. Like, if we go this for Force, this Brain, we win. If she doesn't have Gores, we win, for example, right? But I really like to drop this Fossil Line. Another Gear Frame. That's pretty good for us. Smashing just for damage. Yes, because also this, right? I think that's why I smashing as well. Because if I smashing, then I can't beat over the 19. If I don't smashing, sorry. Okay, Brain Control. Sub. Yeah, and here it's a tough spot. We do have Fossil Dyna to set. We do have a Gear Frame for Fortress to special to try to crash, but again, we'll have to take one of these, then somehow kill the other. It's tricky. It's tricky, I have to agree. But we do get lucky here, sadly. Again. We do get lucky again. And, yeah. Yeah, just take 2 swaps. But the reason why this is so much better than anything we had before is because now we can just normal the Dyna and there's no threat, of course. And this is game. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. I don't know if it's too long, but I really wanted to give you some gameplay of it. And yeah, so like this deck, I think it's particularly strong because, again, like Solidarity Gadgets, you do play on this like low, very consistent deck. But then you could board into a lot of cool stuff like Fossil Dynas, like Kaikus. You also have a lot of ceiling with, for example, Krebons, with E-Telly, with Caius, with Cyber Dragon Caius, Cyber Dragon E-Telly, Cyber Dragon Krebons for Black Rose. You got all of these cool plays that you can do. For example, with Offering, you can start spamming, right? You can chain block the Caius. You can do really, really a lot of high ceiling stuff. So in any case, I hope you like the deck. I will leave this this particular deck list with the link in the description below, so you can test the deck and let me know what you think about it. You can write it in the comment section. Also, write me on Discord or write it in maybe the gadget channel on Discord in edisonformat.com. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.